क्यों परेशान करते हैं ये? Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we'll be doing the PYQs of chapter P block, and yes, good morning. Good morning everyone. Today we'll be doing the PYQs of the chapter P block, and apart from this we'll also do the PYQs of classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Yes, good morning Janvi. So we'll begin the class shortly at 10:10 we'll begin the class. Good morning Sasi. Good morning Saksham. Yes, we'll begin the class at 10:10. Okay, if you have any question regarding the previous class or any DPP uh, that you want to ask about, you can just ask it to me right now. And tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, we will be doing full mock tests. Okay, we'll be doing full mock tests. So I'm showing you the place where you can attempt the full mock test. You will try to attempt it in your home, and then we'll discuss the questions in the class. Okay, so from where you can attempt it. So first of all, for that, you should open the SATHEE website. So just open SATHEE website, SATHEE JE.I, SATHEE NEET.ITK.ac.in. After that, if you are not registered till now, first registered it through Google. If you are registered already, just enter the details here, the email ID and the password, and change this from JE to NEET. Okay, change this from JE to NEET and enter your email ID and password. After that, log in here. Okay, once you log in here, here on the left hand side, if you see, you have this NEET crash course. Okay, click on this NEET crash course, and go to the view course part. In English, go to the view course part. Or if you want to give it subject wise, you can go to the English part. Okay, just go from here, from the English part to the English part, and click on chemistry. Now scroll down and you will see the mock test 1. Okay, so today we will be doing this mock test 1, this one, this one. Okay, attempt this test tomorrow, and we will do the questions regarding this mock test tomorrow itself. Yes, so please attempt this mock test tomorrow, and we will discuss the problems. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Yes, good morning, Raghu. Is this thing clear to everyone? So all of you, please go to the SATHEE website and attempt this full length mock test. So it is specially for your NEET crash course. And tomorrow we'll discuss the questions of the same. So if you don't attempt it, you will find it difficult, because we will move faster, as this test has lots of questions in it, and we have to cover every question. If you have attempted it earlier, then we can move faster without any hesitation. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now moving on to today's class. And apart from this, if you have any doubt in any chapter, whether your chapter is complete or not, whether you are comfortable or not, you can also attempt the DPPs. Okay, you can also attempt the DPPs from here. Now, with this, we'll start our class now. So first of all, we'll do the questions of P block elements. Okay, we'll do the yes. What is the doubt in empirical formula? You can ask me. Write it in the chat section. I will explain it to you. What is the doubt? So you know how to calculate totally. Okay, totally you have a doubt on it. So listen, students, very carefully. So I am doing here a question of empirical formula. If you know it very well, try the question by yourself. If you don't know it, listen to me what I am doing. Okay, so I am giving you a question now. We'll solve it together. Those who are already aware about it or know the way to solve it, then they can just listen to me, and they can also solve the question and match whether they have done it rightly or not. So here is your question. The empirical formula, it is given that the empirical formula of a compound is P2O5. Okay, this is your empirical formula. And the molar mass is given. What it will be? It is given as 283.89 gram per mole. So this is your question. Okay, this is your question. The empirical formula is given and the molar formula is given. You have to find the molecular formula. So this is your question. How we'll do it? So first of all, we will calculate the empirical formula mass. What we'll do? We'll calculate the empirical formula mass. How do we calculate it? Empirical formula mass. It's very simple. Whatever formula is given, so atomic mass of phosphorus is given in the question itself. It is 31 for phosphorus, and for oxygen it is 16U. Now, how do we calculate the empirical formula mass? So there are two phosphorus, so 2 into 31 plus 16 into 5. What we'll get here? So this will be 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. What about this? 6 5s are 30, 5 1s are 5, 3 8, 80. So overall it will be 142. So this is your empirical formula mass. Now we will determine the value of N. How will determine it? Whatever molar mass is given, which is 283.89, divided by the empirical formula mass that you have calculated, this one. What you will get here? Calculate it. What you will get here? So it is 283.89 divided by 142. You will get it approximately, it is equals to 2. Yes, a very good Saksham. Yes. So once we get this 2, multiply this 2 in the empirical formula. Okay. So in P2O5, multiply with here 2, and for O multiply with 2. For each of them multiply it with 2, because we are getting N value as 2. Then you will get it as P4O10. So this will be your correct answer. Is it clear to everyone? Did you get my point? Yes? The one who has asked the question, is it clear to you? अरे यार, ये क्या हो रहा है? कौन माउस कंट्रोल कर रहा है? माउस कंट्रोल कर रहा है कोई? Yes? Is it clear to you? Okay. Now we'll move on to today's chapter. So here is your first question. You have to identify the incorrect statement. So we have done similar type of question in the class as well. You have to see that in which of these statements the p pi d pi bonding is written incorrectly. How will do this question? Yes, students, try this question by yourself and let me know the answer. Remember that if you want to have p pi d pi bond, you should have the d orbital in the molecule. Okay. or in the atom, there should be the presence of d orbital. Then and then only you can have the d pi p pi bond. If you get the answer, write it in the chat section. Okay, so Sangvi is telling D is the correct answer. Question is visible to you, right? So texts are large enough to be visible. So if anyone is facing difficulty in viewing it, please write it in the chat section. So what will be the correct answer, students? Yes, try it by yourself. So we have an answer from Sangvi. It is D. Anyone else? Yes. Raghu, Deepika, Saksham. What will be the correct answer? Okay, so everyone is telling D is the correct answer. Let us see if it is correct or not. So starting from the first statement, nitrogen can form p pi multiple bonds with itself. So if I consider a nitrogen molecule which is N2, so how many bonds are there between two nitrogens in an N2 molecule? In an N2 molecule, how many bonds are there between two nitrogen atoms? Yes, there are three bonds. Okay, there are three bonds in between, in which one bond is sigma. So this bond is sigma, and the other two are pi. The other two are pi bonds. And this pi bond is formed because of the p orbital sidewise overlap. So the p orbital of one nitrogen overlaps sidewise to form this pi bond. So it has this p pi multiple bond in it. Okay, so this statement is correct. This statement is absolutely correct. Next one, we have phosphorus with C2H5 whole thrice and carbon with C6H5 whole thrice. Then what is the d pi bond condition? You have to tell me that how can this phosphorus and arsenic form bonds with the transition metals? Will it be p pi d pi or p pi p pi? We know it for very sure that transition metals means those which have incomplete d orbital. Okay, they have incomplete d orbital. And if incomplete d orbital is there, there is a possibility of doing the d pi bond, because both phosphorus and transition metal and your arsenic all have this d orbital in them, so they can do the d pi bonding. They can do the d pi bonding. Why? Because if I talk about the phosphorus, it is attached to three carbons. Okay, what will be the hybridization of phosphorus here? So C2H5, C2H5, and C2H5. Can you tell me the hybridization of the phosphorus? Yes, students. What will be the hybridization of phosphorus? Can anyone tell me? How do we find the hybridization? How do we find the hybridization? First of all, we'll calculate the steric number, which is half V plus M, number of valence electron for phosphorus is 5. What is the number of monovalent species? So here carbon, if I consider C2H5, it is already attached to 3 other groups. So this is your C2H5, this is your C2H5. So it has only one bond to be made. Okay, so this complete species, this is monovalent in nature. Okay, did you understand my point? So earlier we have only one atom, here we have this complete species. So this complete species has only one bond that is to be made, because already all the valencies of C2H5 are complete. So the number of monovalent species is 1, 2, 3. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Then charge is 0. That means 4. So it will have sp3 hybridization. Is it correct? Did you get my point? Yes, did you get my point? Similarly, if I talk about, yes, is it clear to everyone? Yes, Saksham, Badri, any doubt? How did I find this hybridization? We have seen the way already multiple times to find the hybridization. Okay, now phosphorus and arsenic. Phosphorus and arsenic, they both are in the same group, which is group number 15. So for both of them, the number of valence electron will be 5. And what about the surrounding atom? So here is your arsenic, and you have C6H5, which is your phenyl group. Again, here also, here also, these species are monovalent in nature, because your benzene has a formula of C6H6, but one hydrogen is missing, so it can make one bond, and that is to be made with the arsenic. So it is also monovalent in nature, means it can form only one bond. Again, we'll use the same formula, because all things are exactly same for the other species as well. So here also the hybridization will be sp3. So both have the hybridization of sp3, means their all p orbitals, listen very carefully, their all p orbitals are involved in hybridization. So to make the pi bond, they will use their d orbital, and transition metal was already using the d orbital. So overall there will be d pi bond. Is it clear to everyone? Is this thing clear to everyone? Okay, so this is a very important point. This is a very important point, and you can understand it very easily. Suppose, suppose if I take the case of ethene, if I take the case of ethene, now what is the hybridization of the carbon here? What is the hybridization of this carbon here? Anyone? What is the hybridization of this carbon here? Yes, it is sp2. So the hybridization of this carbon is sp2. Now, if the hybridization is sp2, then how many p orbitals are left unhybridized? How many p orbitals are left unhybridized? Yes. How many p orbitals of carbons are left unhybridized? Answer me. If sp2 is the hybridization, how many p orbitals are left? Yes, it is 1. So if I consider a ethene molecule, so it is sp2 hybridized. So this is your sp2 orbital of carbon. Okay, this is your sp2. This is your sp2 hybridized orbital of carbon. Okay, 3 orbitals will be there. Each of them will have a bond with the hydrogen, and one of them will have a bond with the carbon. Apart from this one p orbital is left. All of you told that one p orbital is there, which is unhybridized. It is unhybridized. Okay, since it is unhybridized, So these two p orbitals which are unhybridized, so this is a p orbital, they will do the sidewise overlap and make this pi bond. Okay, so in a molecule, in this way the pi bonds are made. Once we do the hybridization, the hybridized orbital, they are involved in the sigma bond, and the unhybridized orbital which are not involved in the hybridization, they will do the sidewise overlap to make the pi bond. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Yes. So that same thing is being applied here also. Both phosphorus and arsenic have a hybridization of sp3. So all p orbitals are used in the sigma bonding or the hybridization. So the left thing is d orbital, so it will use its d orbital and it will overlap with the d orbital of the transition metal and it will form d pi bond. Here the carbon is making p pi bond because the p orbitals are overlapping sidewise. Yes, anyone is having any doubt? Tell it to me. So this was a very important thing to understand so that you can tackle this questions of p pi d pi and p pi. What is this p pi d pi and all? Anyone is having any doubt? Ask it to me. Can you move forward now? Yes, Sasi, is it clear to you? Sangvi, Saksham, Badri, is it clear to you? Raghu, now, you okay? Anyone else who is having any doubt? Anyone else who is having any doubt? So now you know how to find whether it is p pi d pi or p pi. And remember the trick. Remember the trick. If there is bond between the period two elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, it can never be p pi. Sorry, p pi d pi because they don't have this d orbital in them. If they are making a bond with a metal, suppose, then in that case, the p orbital of carbon and the d orbital of metal can do the bond. But if both of them, whoever are making bond, if both of them are from the group 2, they can max make a p pi bond. Yes? Okay. Now, according to that, the fourth statement will be incorrect because it is saying that nitrogen and oxygen can form d pi p pi. It's not possible because nitrogen has only p orbital. Similarly, oxygen has also p orbital max. There is no d orbital, so they both of them cannot make this p pi d pi. Now, what about this statement? Phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, they can show catenation property. Is it true? Is it true? So, which species can show the catenation property? How will you identify that? Of other groups as well, like here group 15 is making the catenation property. Which groups can show the catenation property? Anyone who likes to answer this? Anyone who likes to answer this? Okay, students, so listen it very carefully. What is catenation property first of all? Have you seen have you seen any time that chlorine is making this kind of bond? Is it possible for chlorine to make this kind of bond? Have you seen such a molecule in your lifetime? Anyone? Have you seen such molecule in which three chlorine atoms are joined together in this fashion? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, Saksham, no. It's not possible. It's not possible at all that three chlorine molecules are attached in this way. But have you seen this situation that three carbons are attached in one line Have you seen such situation in which three carbons are attached? Yes. Yes, we have seen this situation. So this property where your carbon is making multiple bonds, okay, multiple bonds and forming a chain, this property is known as catenation property. Okay, this property is known as catenation property, about which it is catenation property about which is it is written here. Now they are asking that whether phosphorus and arsenic and antimony can make this or not. So remember that only the members of group 14, then group 15, and to some extent group 16, only these three groups have elements that can show the catenation property. So in group 14 we have carbon, silicon and germanium that can show the catenation property. Then in group 16 we have sulfur, oxygen and selenium that can do this. And in group 15 we have phosphorus, antimony and arsenic. Can you tell me an example where oxygen is showing the catenation property? Can you tell me an example of a molecule where oxygen is showing the catenation property? Anyone? Yes, very good. So O3 is the example. Okay, O3 is the example where oxygen is showing the catenation property, but it is very limited. You won't see the fourth oxygen atom. So these are the only elements that can show the catenation property, means they can form bonds like this. Similarly, in phosphorus we have this P4. We have this P4. Now, if it is clear to you, then we can clearly say that D option was incorrect. All others are correct. Anyone is having any doubt in this? Now, moving on to the next question. We have done such questions in your class as well. Like nitrogen can form ammonia, can arsenic form arsine? So you know that nitrogen, it can form ammonia, which is NH3. Now you have to predict that whether arsenic can do the same or not. Then second statement is antimony, it cannot form antimony pentoxide. Is it true or not? So tell me about both the statements, whether they are correct or not. Yes, Gomati, Kritika, whether these two statements are correct or not. Is arsenic capable of forming compound which is similar to this ammonia? Yes, Badri, Saksham, reply here. So Saksham is telling A is the correct answer. Okay, let us see Saksham. Anyone else? Anyone else who is willing to give the answer? Statement 1 is true. Okay, let's see Sangvi. Okay, so everyone is telling A is the correct answer. Can you tell me to which to which group to which group your antimony belongs to? To which group your antimony belongs to? Group 13, 14, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which group your antimony belongs to? And what is the valency of antimony? Of that group, we have a group valency for every group. So what is the group valency for antimony? You can directly tell it if you know that to which group your antimony belongs. From that part, you can all answer it very easily. So what will be the group valency? So Saksham is telling 15 group. Anyone else? To which group does antimony belongs to? So it belongs to the Group 15. So what will be the group valency? It will be 5. Yes, Saksham, you are correct. The group valency will be 5. Now, your answer is almost there. If you determine this part, then you have to only know the formula of the oxide. It's very simple now. What about the first one? Can arsenic from arsine? So yes, this is true. Similar to ammonia, arsenic can also from arsine. And if I take the valencies of both of them, this is 5, this is 2. If I cross multiply it, I will get it as Sb2O5, which is antimony pentoxide, So both statements are correct. Sorry, the first one is correct. Second one is not correct because it can form the pentoxide. So the correct option would be A. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone is having any doubt in this? Can we move on to the next question now? Yes, Saksham. Is it clear to you? Badri, any doubt? Now, moving on to the next question. Again, a statement assertion type question. First one, helium is used to dilute oxygen in diving apparatus. Helium is used to dilute oxygen in diving apparatus. Second, helium has high solubility in O2. So this is a question from solution. So let me tell it to you. So basically, what happens whenever a scuba diver goes into the ocean, he takes the oxygen cylinder along with him. Okay. Okay. So D is correct. Let us see if D is correct or not. So what happens whenever a scuba diver he goes into the deep ocean, he takes the oxygen cylinder along with him. But that oxygen cylinder is filled with some amount of helium as well. Okay, it is filled with some amount of helium as well. Why is it so? Because as the scuba diver he goes deep into the ocean, the pressure of the atmosphere increases. You know it very well that if you go below the sea level, then the atmospheric pressure increases, and if you go in the higher altitude, then the atmospheric pressure decreases. So as it goes down the ocean below the sea level, the atmospheric pressure increases, and as a result of this, as a result of this, as the pressure is increased, more oxygen it gets dissolved into the blood. Okay, let us see Selvi if B is correct or not. So Selvi, okay, let us see. So what happens? Is it clear to you this part that whenever he goes deep into the ocean, the pressure increases? You know it from the Henry's law that pressure is directly proportional to the solubility. So more and more oxygen will be dissolved into the blood. Okay. Now, if in this situation he comes out of the ocean at the top, then what will happen? The pressure will decrease because as he moves upward, the pressure will decrease. What it will result in? It will result in oxygen getting out. Means the oxygen which was previously dissolved due to high pressure, as the scuba divers comes to the sea, the pressure decreases and the oxygen gets out of the blood, out of the blood. And if this happens, then in your vessel there is formation of bubbles, veins and all, where the blood is flowing, There the oxygen will come out. You know it very well. Whenever air comes out of the liquid, it forms bubbles inside it. So there will be formation of bubbles, and this situation is very much painful for the individual. So he faces severe pain whenever this occurs in his body, the formation of bubbles. Then it results in the severe pain. Now to avoid this whole situation, what he does, he dilutes the oxygen with some amount of helium. Why? Because your helium, it is having very lower mass, okay, lower molecular mass as compared to the oxygen. It is having lower molecular mass, due to which its solubility is also very low. Now the oxygen cylinder, which is diluted with helium, that has a very lower solubility, it will result in less amount of oxygen going into the blood. And hence, when the scuba diver will come at the top, the extra oxygen will not get dissolved in this blood, and he will not face this situation. Okay, because helium was present, a less concentration is present, so he does not absorb more oxygen, and hence there is no case of bends in his body. But the assertion is correct, but the reason is not correct that helium has high solubility. It has lower solubility. As soon as we decrease the molecular mass, the solubility decreases. Okay, so molecular mass, the molecule with higher molecular mass are highly soluble in the water. So you know it very well that for helium, the molecular mass is 4, and for O2 it is 32. Therefore, the solubility of O2 will be higher. So statement, your assertion is correct, but your reason is false. So B will be the correct answer. Is it clear? Anyone is having any doubt in this? So this was a very good question. It was asked in your 2023 NEET. Anyone is having any doubt? Can you move on to the next question now? Now here is the next question. Now this is a very simple match the following type. You have to tell the structural aspects of the molecule and the uses. You have to compare it. So two of the of, statements are related to structure of the list 2, and two of them are related to its application. So you have to tell that which matches to which. Now it's a very simple one. So all these are what? What are all these? What do we call them? What do we call all of them? There is a common name for all of them. So Badri is telling B, Selvi is telling B, Sangvi is telling D. Yes, student, first of all, tell me what are they called? What are they called? So there is a collective name for all of them. One name for all of them. What is that name? First tell me that what are they called? What is that one name that is used for it? I will check on to the answer later on. What are they called collectively known as? Any particular name for it? So it is related to carbon. What are they called? Yes, Sasi, Sangvi, Saksham. No, not isomers, Saksham. Not isomers. Incorrect. They are not isomers of carbon. Isomers have the same formula. What are they called? Can anyone give the answer? Give me the answer. Yes, Selvi. What are they called? Have you heard the term allotropes? Allotropes. So they all are the allotropes of carbon. Yes, they all are allotropes of carbon. Okay, they all are allotropes of carbon. Now we'll match each of them one by one. So starting with, if I start with the easier one, we know it that fullerene has cage-like structure. They have cage-like structure, a dome-shaped structure is possible for fluorine. Fluorine. Then what we have, graphite. So graphite, it is used as the dry lubricant. Then coke. Coke is used as the reducing agent. And the last one, diamond. Diamond has sp3 hybridization. It has sp3 hybridization. So A3, then we have B1. So correct answer would be B. Okay, correct answer would be B. Is it clear to everyone? Yes. So your graphite, they are used as lubricants. They are used as lubricant. Why is it possible to use them as lubricant? Because if I consider the structure of graphite, if I consider the structure of graphite, then it has layered structure. So two layers are there and they are joined together by van der Waals force. So this can be asked in your exam. So there is one layer, then another layer, then another layer, then another layer. So there are layers after layers in your graphite, and which with each layers, how are they joined together? They are joined together by this van der Waals force, which is a very weak force. Okay, van der Waals force is a very weak force. Due to this, these layers, they can slide over each other. Okay, they can slide over each other. So we put them as dry lubricants. So if two things, if they can slide over each other, they can lubricate it. So if we can take the example, we can take the example of oil, grease. So grease is used in the bikes because it has a sleepy texture. So we can use it for greasing and all. Yes, they can be used as lubricant. Similarly, your graphite is it has also this lubricancy in it because their layers are not very tightly attached to each other. They can glide over each other or float over each other, and hence they can be used as lubricant. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone is having any doubt? What about the structures? The fullerene, you know it very well. It has a dome shaped like cage like structure. Similarly, if I consider the structure of carbon, so this is the structure of carbon, where one carbon is attached to another carbon, and every carbon is having four carbon attached to it, and the hybridization of each carbon is sp3. So this is correct, that carbon's atoms are sp3 hybridized, means each carbon are attached to four other carbon. Now the next carbon, it will be attached to four other carbon. So this will create a very tough structure for the fullerene, and each carbon is having since four bonds, so it is sp3 hybridized. Then in metallurgical methods, your coke is used as the reducing agent. Now moving on to the next question. The element expected to form largest ion to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration. The elements which are expected to form the largest ion to achieve the nearest noble gas configuration. Yes, students, what will be the answer? Try this question. You have to see that after attaining the noble gas configuration, which will have the largest size. How will solve it? Step by step move on to it. Okay. First, you will try to write the noble gas configuration for each of them one by one. Nearest noble gas configuration. How you will write it? So for fluorine, how many electrons you will add so that it can have the nearest noble gas configuration? Yes, Raghu. What will be the answer here? Vasant Priya, what will be the correct answer? Which one will have the nearest, which one will have the largest size on achieving the nearest noble gas configuration? Anyone? So Shashi is telling that A will be the correct answer. Badr is telling A will be the correct answer. Sangvi is telling nitrogen. Saksham is telling B. Okay, let us see how we'll do it. First of all, number of electrons in your fluorine is one less than the noble gas. So it will become, after attaining one electron, it will become F minus. Then next one, what we have this N. Now nitrogen, it has 3 electrons less than the noble gas configuration, so it will become N3 minus. Then our next target is sodium. So how can sodium become a noble gas? By taking, sorry, by releasing one electron to become Na plus. Similarly, the last one, which is your oxygen, it can attain the noble gas configuration by taking 2 electrons and becoming O2 minus. Yes, that is the thing that we can do. Now, remember the rule. These all are isoelectronic species. Whatever we are getting upon adding the electron, they all are isoelectronic species. What is the meaning of this isoelectronic species? It means they have same number of electrons. So fluorine negative, N3 negative, Na plus and O2 minus all have the same number of electrons. If this is correct, if this is correct, then what we can say? If this is correct, then what we can say about the size? So remember that size is directly proportional to greater negative charge, greater negative charge, and inversely proportional to greater positive charge. Okay, so you know it very well that the largest size will be of N3 minus. Then we will have O2 minus. Then we will have your F minus. And lastly, we will have this Na plus. So this will be the order that your electrons will follow. Yes, is it clear to everyone? Anyone is having any doubt? So this is the order of your size. Can you move on to the next question now? So here is your next question. You have to tell that which statement is correct about diborane. Which statement is correct about diborane? Try this question. Which statement is correct about diborane? So Badri is telling D. Selvi is telling D. Sasi is telling D is the correct answer. Let us see if it is correct or not. So first of all, let us draw the structure of diborane. So this is your borane having 2 hydrogens here and 2 hydrogens on the terminal side. Now join the bonds. Okay. Once you join the bond, what is the total number of electrons in boron? It is total number of electrons in boron is 3, and total number of electrons in hydrogen is 1. Okay, so mark your attendance if you have not marked it. Link is there in the chat section. Now, your boron, it can have 3 electrons, but the bonds your boron is making here is 4. That means these are the 3 electrons of boron. Similarly, for this, we have 3 electrons of boron. Then, what about hydrogen? What about hydrogen? So, hydrogen also, it has 1 electron. So, 1 electron is here, here, again, 1 electron is here. This is your electron, this is your electron, and this is your electron. Okay, clear? Now, next, what we can see about, if I say about this last one, if I say about this last one, terminal hydrogen, in one bond there are 2 electrons. Okay, so this is 2 center 2 electrons. Okay, because in one bond there are two atoms, hydrogen and boron. So two centers, one center is hydrogen, other one is boron, and 2 electrons. So 2 center 2 electron. Similarly, here also this bond is also what? 2 center 2 electron. This bond is also 2 center 2 electron, and this bond is also 2 center 2 electron. If I consider the bridged one, so this was all about the terminal part. If I consider the bridge one, then what we can tell about them? What we can tell about them? What we can tell about them? So here, in this case, 2 electrons are there. One is of boron and one is of hydrogen. And the bond is between 3 centers, 1 hydrogen and 2 boron. So this is 3 center, 2 electron. Similarly, in the downside also there are 2 electrons and it is between 3 centers. So it is also 3 center, 2 electrons. So in the upper one, in the upper bond, in this bond, the right boron, the right boron means this one, it is giving the electron, and in the down one, the left one is giving the electron. But overall they both are 3 center 2 electron. So yes, the first statement is correct. There are 3 center 2 electron, one is on the top, one is on the bottom. The 4 terminal BH bonds are 2 center 2 electron. Yes, all them are 2 center 2 electron. The fourth one, the 4 terminal hydrogen atoms and the 2 borons lie in the one plane. Yes, it is also correct. What about this? What is hybridization of boron? So 4 bonds are being made by the boron. 4 bonds. So it is sp3 hybridized, not sp2. This is not correct. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone is having any doubt in this? Yes? Any doubt in this part? If you are not knowing the steric number, then also you can know the hybridization. The process is very simple. Count the total number of sigma bonds, total number of sigma bonds plus the total number of lone pairs. If you are given with the structure, not with the formula, in that case I am telling. If you are given with the structure, not with the formula, you want to find the hybridization. So how you can calculate the steric number? By looking at the structure. So number of sigma bonds by total number of lone pairs. So here the boron is making 4 sigma bonds and no lone pairs are present. So the hybridization related to 4 steric number is sp3. In this way you can determine. Okay, anyone is having any doubt regarding this one? I hope this is clear to all of you. So we can move on to the last question of today's session. So this question you will do it by yourself. Okay, you can take the screenshot and your next class will begin shortly. Thank you for joining the session. I hope you enjoyed it.
मुझसे पूछ रहे हो? हाँ, कर रहा हूँ बस। कर दिया। कैसी चेयर है ये? गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आर यू देयर? हाउ आर यू ऑल? So shall we start? So today we are going to discuss some PYQs of chapter waves. So let's start. So first question is there. For a traveling wave, traveling harmonic wave, yxt, equation of the wave is 2 cos 2 pi in bracket 10t minus 0.0080x plus 0.35. If we compare this equation with the standard equation of wave, so what is the standard equation of wave? Y x t equal to a cos 2 pi. What is this? Nu t minus k by 2 pi x plus phi. So further modifying it, it would be a cos 2 pi nu. 2 pi nu is omega. So omega t minus kx plus phi. That is the standard equation. So from this standard equation, we can calculate what is omega, what is k, and what is phi. Okay, so x and y are given in centimeters. So you should know that x and y in this equation are given in centimeters and time is given in second. So the phase difference between oscillatory motion of 2 points separated by a distance of 0.5 meter. So what is the phase difference of 2 points that are separated by 0.5 meter? So in this case, that 0.35, that is not the phase difference between that 2 points. Okay, that is another phase difference. So we have to find the phase difference between 2 points that are separated by 0.5 meter. So what is this 0.5 meter? What is this 0.5 meter given? What is this 0.5 meter given? Okay, it is written that it is given distance of 0.5 meter, but it is not actually the distance. It is path difference. It is the path difference. 0.5 meter. That is the distance of separation between 2 points that are oscillating. That means that is the path difference. And we have to calculate the phase difference. So how can we calculate the phase difference? So phase difference can be calculated. What is the relation between phase difference and path difference? That is 2 pi by lambda into path difference. And what is this 2 pi by lambda? That is k. K is 2 pi by lambda. Okay, so from here we can write phi is k into delta x. K is the that value k in the equation of wave, and delta x is the path difference. Okay, that is propagation constant k. Delta x is path difference. Phi is phase difference. So from here, from the equation of the wave, we can calculate the k. Can we calculate the k by comparing this equation with this equation? By comparing the standard equation with the given equation, we can calculate the k, and delta x is also there. But you should remember one thing, that x and y are given in centimeters. Okay, x and y are given in centimeters. So value of k given in this equation is in centimeters. So what is the unit of k? K is radian. Unit of k is radian per meter. Unit of k. Unit of k is radian per meter. But in this equation, distances are given in centimeters. So in this equation, the unit of k is given as radian per centimeter. So either you convert the unit of k from radian per centimeter to radian per meter, or either you take this distance 0.5 meter to be in centimeter, that is 50 centimeter. So you can do either thing. One thing is, either you can convert the unit of k given in this equation, that is radian per centimeter, convert it into radian per meter, or either you can take that path difference as 50 centimeter and then calculate what is the phase difference from this equation. Okay, B option. Okay, B option. Any other option? Okay, 0.8, B option again. 0.8 pi. B option is 0.8 pi, not 0.8. Pi is also there. Other people, what are they doing? B option question mark. You are asking me or you are giving me the answer? Okay, so let's see the solution. So B option is correct option. Very good. Those who have solved. So by comparing this, so don't bother that step. That step is extra. So that is the actual steps. Okay, so they have converted the distance into centimeters, 100 by 250 centimeter. You can also convert the value of k from radian per centimeter to radian per meter. But in this question, they have converted the distance into 0.5 meter to 50 centimeter, 100 by 250 centimeter. Okay, so per centimeter and here multiplying by distance, centimeter. So that unit will be cancelled out. So answer will be in radian, 0.8 pi radian. So any doubt in this question, in any step you can ask. Any doubt in this question? Okay, clear. Okay, other people, Deepika, Gomati, Kirtika, Vasant Priya, Prachi, Raghu, Saksham. Next question. A pipe at both ends has a fundamental frequency F in air. The pipe is now dipped vertically in a water drum to half of its length. The fundamental frequency of the air column is now equal to. Okay, so first we have taken the pipe that is open at open at both ends. Means we have taken open organ pipe. So questions of organ pipes are also very important. So pipe that is open at both ends means open organ pipe we have taken that has a fundamental frequency F in air. So what is fundamental frequency in the case of open organ pipe? What is the fundamental frequency? What is fundamental frequency in case of open organ pipe? V by 2L. Very good. So V by 2L is the fundamental frequency in the case of open organ pipe. Now this pipe is dipped vertically. So this pipe is now that is open from both ends. It is dipped vertically in a water drum to half of its length. So to half of its length. Suppose this is half of length. It is vertically dipped in a water drum. So that is water drum. So now here up to this length, up to L by 2. So up to this length, L, up to this length, L by 2. It is dipped. And the other length is L by 2 also. Now in the half of the pipe, there is water. In the half of the pipe, there is air. So we have to calculate the fundamental frequency of air column. Okay, so air column is this. Now this pipe is not open. This pipe has become closed organ pipe. This has become closed organ pipe. Why it has become closed organ pipe? Because in the half of the pipe there is water which is acting as the boundary of the pipe. So it is now closed organ pipe and we have to calculate the fundamental frequency of this air column. Means we have to calculate the fundamental frequency in the case of closed organ pipe. So what is the fundamental frequency of closed organ pipe? Can you tell me? in the case of closed organ pipe? Yes, V by 4L. Now the length is L by 2. Now the length is L by 2, not L. In the first case, we have taken entire pipe, open organ pipe that is having length L. Now length is decreased. Length is halved. Now the length of closed organ pipe is L by 2. So what would be the frequency? F prime. That would be V upon 4L. And L is now L by 2. So L by 2. So it would be V by 2L. Okay. Now the fundamental frequency of air column is V by 2L. And fundamental frequency of open organ pipe was also V by 2L. So which option is correct? Okay, D option. Any other people? Okay, D option. What are others doing? Sleeping? Okay, D option. Okay, so let's see the solution. Okay, so you can see fundamental frequency. So this is open organ pipe. So fundamental frequency in the case of open organ pipe is V by 2L. And now it is dipped in a water tank. Now its length is L by 2. Okay, now fundamental frequency in the case of closed pipe, it is behaving like closed pipe because water is acting as a boundary. So fundamental frequency in the case of closed pipe V by 4L. Now L is L by 2. So it will become V by 2L, which is equal to fundamental frequency of open organ pipe. So the fundamental frequency in the case of closed organ pipe is equal to fundamental frequency in the case of open organ pipe. Is anyone having any doubt? You can ask immediately. Okay, no doubt. So let's move to next question then. So next question. The displacement of the traveling wave is y equal to c sine 2 pi by lambda at minus x. So what is the standard form? What is the standard form? Y is equal to, so suppose amplitude you can take c also. So c sine omega t minus kx. Okay, and you can write omega as 2 pi nu, and you can write k as 2 pi by lambda. Now after taking 2 pi common, 2 pi by lambda common, after taking 2 pi by lambda common, so 2 pi by lambda you have taken common. So 2 pi by lambda means lambda nu t minus x. That is the modified form of equation of wave. Now you can compare this equation with the given equation. And where t is time, x is distance, and lambda is the wavelength. All are in SI units. All are given in SI units. Then the fundamental frequency of the wave is. You have to calculate the fundamental frequency of the wave. So what is the fundamental frequency of the wave? You have to calculate the nu. Compare this equation with the given equation and calculate the nu, the fundamental frequency of this wave. Oh, the frequency of the wave, not fundamental, it is frequency of the wave. So nu you have to calculate. So after comparing, what is A from here? A is lambda nu. What is, so here 2 pi by lambda c, everything you can compare. So from here you have to calculate nu. So what is nu? Which option is correct? D option. Simple. You have to just, this is a standard form. You have to just modify it according to the question. In question, they have taken 2 pi by lambda as common. So take 2 pi by lambda as common. So in this, in first term, there is no lambda, only 2 pi is there. So we have to divide and multiply by lambda, divide and multiply by lambda, and take 2 pi by lambda as common. So first term will become lambda nu t minus x. Now it is in the form of given equation. So you have to just compare the values. So a is equal to lambda nu. So from here, nu is equal to a by lambda. Clear? Any doubt in this question? You can ask. Okay. So D is the correct option. So as I have told you, these are the same steps. Okay, this is a standard form. You have to convert it into the given form. You have to modify the standard form so that you can compare the given equation with the standard equation. So after comparison, you can find what is the frequency. So you can find from here the frequency is a by lambda. Okay, or you can compare in that way also. You can multiply this. You can do the reverse way also. How you can do the reverse way? You can convert this given equation into standard equation. So multiply 2 by lambda. So it will become sine. So answer would be same. You can do in either way. So C sine multiply 2 pi by lambda in the bracket 2 pi by lambda a t minus 2 pi by lambda x. Okay. So from here you can compare it with standard form, that is C sine omega t minus kx. Okay. So omega from here is, compare it, omega is 2 pi a by lambda. And what is the relation between omega and nu? What is the relation? Omega and nu. I think I have been asking this question for a long. What is the relation between omega and nu? Many times I've asked this question in physical mode classes also. Do you remember what is relation between omega and nu? What is relation between angular frequency and linear frequency? Yes, omega is 2 pi nu. So from here, what is nu? Nu is a by lambda. You can solve in that way also. Answer would be same. Okay. So next question. The ratio frequencies of fundamental harmonic produced by an open pipe to that of the closed pipe having the same length. So length is same in case of open organ pipe and closed organ pipe. So length is same. So you have to find the ratio frequencies of fundamental harmonic. Means fundamental frequencies. You have to find the ratio of fundamental frequencies produced by the open pipe and closed pipe. So what are the fundamental frequencies in the case of open organ pipe and in the case of closed organ pipe? So in the case of open organ pipe, that is V by 2L, and length is same in both cases. And in the case of closed organ pipe, that is V by 4L, length is same. So you have to find the ratio produced by open organ pipe to the closed organ pipe. So what is the ratio? Simple question. Option A, 2:1. Any other option? Okay, 2:1. So it would be 2:1. Why other people are not responding? So 2:1. Okay, so here is the solution. So for fundamental frequency of open organ pipe, that is V by 12, and for closed organ pipe, that is V by 4L. Length is same. So you can take the ratio. It would come out to be 2:1. Clear? Okay. So let's move to next question. So next question. So organ pipes and strings, that are also very, very important topics of chapter waves and equation of wave. So question will come frequently from topic of organ pipes, for topic of string, and the topic of equation of wave. So comparison that we have discussed. So you have to compare the given equation with the standard equation and find the missing quantities and the asked quantities. Or in the case of closed and open organ pipe, that are also very, very important topic. So the fourth overtone of a closed organ pipe is same as the third overtone of the open organ pipe. What is overtones? So in the case of open organ pipe, in the case of open organ pipe, so in open organ pipe, there is all harmonics present. First harmonic, that is fundamental harmonic. Okay, second harmonic, third harmonic, all harmonics are present. And that is known as fundamental frequency. That is fundamental frequency. That is first overtone. That is second overtone, and so on. Fourth harmonic, fourth harmonic is third overtone. So this is for open organ pipe. And for closed organ pipe, for closed organ pipe, all harmonics are not present. Only odd harmonics are present. Okay, so first harmonic is there, then second harmonic is missing, third harmonic is there, then fifth harmonic is there, only odd harmonics are there. Then seventh harmonic is there, then ninth and 11th, so on. Okay, first harmonic is fundamental frequency. First harmonic is fundamental frequency. Third harmonic is first overtone in the case of closed organ pipe. Fifth harmonic is second overtone, and seventh harmonic is third overtone. Okay, and ninth harmonic is fourth overtone. Now in question, what is given? In question, it is given fourth overtone of closed organ pipe. Fourth overtone means ninth harmonic. Ninth harmonic of closed organ pipe is same as the third overtone of open pipe. Third overtone means fourth harmonic of open organ pipe. What is first harmonic? That is fundamental frequency. What is fundamental frequency for organ pipe? Open organ pipe. What is fundamental frequency? V by 2L. For second harmonic, 2V by 2L means V by L. then 3v by 2l, and for fourth that is 4v by 2l. Okay, that means 2v by l. Or in the case of closed organ pipe, for fundamental harmonic is v by 4l. Yes. Then third harmonic 3v by 4l. Here even harmonics are missing, only odd harmonics are present. So 3v by 4l, then 5v by 4l, then 7v by 4l, and then 9v by 4. Now, in this case, suppose length is LO, open organ pipe, LO. In this case, LC, closed organ pipe. In this case, velocity of sound is same. That's why I have written V. So you have to find the ratio of length of closed organ pipe to the length of open organ pipe. And what is same? Fourth overtone, that means ninth harmonic of closed organ pipe, and third overtone means fourth harmonic of open organ pipe is same. So you have to compare it, equate them, and then you have to find the ratio of length of closed organ pipe, that is L naught, to the length of open organ pipe. Okay, closed organ pipe to the open organ pipe, to the open organ pipe. That you have to find by comparing these two, one and this. Can you find? Can you find now? All people. If you have any doubt, you can ask or tell me the answer. Okay. C option. You are saying, let's see. So C option is correct. Very good. 9 ratio 8. Okay. So there is also one relation that you have to find the frequency. So if overtones are given, how can you find which harmonic is there? So in the case of, so if you want to find the overtone, suppose you want to find the first overtone. So in the case of, so this is for closed. This is NCOP, not NOOP. Okay, there is some typing error. So this is NCOP. This is closed organ pipe. So for closed organ pipe, how you calculate the harmonic from the overtone? If there is first overtone, that means that is, so M, here M is the overtone. So how can you find which overtone is there or which harmonic is there? So first overtone in the case of closed organ pipe is 2m plus 1 harmonic. That means 2 into 1 plus 1. That is third harmonic. First overtone is third harmonic. And in the case of open organ pipe, M is overtone. First overtone is second harmonic. That is the formula. You can write it also. Or the way I have explained you in the previous slide. You can remember with that also. So fourth overtone of closed organ pipe, that means you have to put here 4. That means ninth harmonic. That means NV by 4LC. Or third overtone. That means 3 plus 1 means fourth harmonic of open organ pipe, that is 4V by 2L0. You have to compare them both and you have to find the ratio of length for closed organ pipe to the length of open organ pipe. Clear? Any doubt? Okay. Now next question. If the initial tension on a stretch string is doubled, then the ratio of initial and final speeds of a transverse wave along the string is. So what they are asking in the question. So initial tension on the stretch string is doubled. So we have what is the velocity of the wave in a string which is fixed at both ends. That velocity we can calculate with tension by mu. Okay, root tension by mu. That is tension in the string. Mu is mass per unit length. Linear mass density. Mu is linear mass density. That means mass per unit length. That is mu for this string or wire. And that is the velocity of the wave or velocity of the pulse that is traveling in that string. So if the initial tension of the stretch string is doubled, then the ratio of initial and final speeds of a transverse wave, that is the speed along the string. So this is the speed in suppose initial speed. Now final speed. In in final speed, what we have changed? We have changed the tension. Initial tension is doubled now. So the final tension, that is T prime, is 2 times T. That means 2 times T by mu. Mu is not changing because we are using the same wire. So linear mass density is same. What is changed? Tension. Tension has become double. So what is the ratio of initial and final speeds? V upon V prime. You have to find. What is the ratio? Okay, option C. Other people. Okay. So C option is the correct option. Very good. Okay, so speed is given by root of tension by linear mass density. And for final speed, we have double the tension. So root of 2 times the tension upon linear mass density. So what is the ratio of initial and final speed? That is 1 by root 2. Other terms will cancel out, they are same. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Now next question. An open organ pipe. Okay, that is not open. That is not given it is open or closed. So only organ pipe is there. An organ pipe filled with gas at 27 degrees Celsius resonates at 400 Hertz in its fundamental mode. So if it is filled with the same gas at 90 degrees Celsius, the resonance frequency at the same mode will be. Okay, so you have to calculate. So it is resonates at fundamental mode. So we have to calculate the resonance frequency at the same mode. That means fundamental mode. Okay, that means you have to find the fundamental frequency in the second case also. In the first case, the organ pipe is filled with a gas at 27 degrees Celsius and that resonates at 400 Hertz. So how we calculate? So organ pipe is not given. So suppose we are considering it open organ pipe. Okay, so open organ pipe, in the case of open organ pipe, what is fundamental frequency? V upon 2L. In the case of closed organ pipe, that is 3. In the case of that is in the case of open organ pipe. In the case of closed organ pipe, that is V by 4L. But in both cases, length is not changing. We are using the same organ pipe. That means the frequency will not depend on length. Either we take open organ pipe, either we take the closed organ pipe. Length will not matter. Okay, that length will not matter. Only that upper portion will matter. That means we can take any pipe, open organ pipe or closed organ pipe. In this case, answer would be same. Now, they have given the temperature, but We don't have temperature in the formula for frequency. How can we do in the case of gases? In the case of strings, we know velocity is root of tension by mu. That is velocity in the case of strings. And in the case of gases, what is this velocity? Velocity of sound. The formula given by Newton, the formula given by Newton for the velocity of sound in air, that was given pressure upon density. But when the velocity was calculated, the value didn't match with the actual value for velocity of sound in air. That's why there was Laplace correction. What was Laplace correction? The Newton assumed that the propagation of sound wave in the air is isothermal process, but in actual it is adiabatic process. So in Laplace correction there was gamma here. Gamma is the adiabatic ratio for a given gas. So that is the velocity in the case of gases. Now again, this velocity is not depending on temperature. So we have to make it dependent on the temperature. How? So modify this equation. Gamma P. So rho, density can be written as mass upon volume. So mass upon volume. Okay. And according to ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. So you have to put PV is equal to nRT. So velocity is gamma nRT by m. M is the given mass of gas. So we know that number of moles can be calculated as given mass by molar mass. So from here, given mass can be written as, or we can calculate from here if we write molar mass. So modify this. Molar mass can be calculated as given mass by number of moles. So given mass by number of moles, m by n, this will be converted into molar mass of the gas. That is the modified equation. That is the modified equation in the case of gases, which is dependent on the temperature. Okay, these all are equations for velocity of sound in gases. So put here, frequency would be gamma RT by root m. Okay, divide by 2L in the case of open organ pipe. In the case of closed organ pipe, that is 4L. Okay, other gamma. Now gas is not being changed. Same gas we are using in the second case. That means gamma would be same. Gas constant is also a constant, and molar mass will also be same. That means gamma R M, they are not changing. Also length of the pipe is not changing, and 2 is also constant. That means only temperature is variable. So frequency is only dependent on the root of temperature. All other things are constant. In the case of closed organ pipe also, frequency will be only dependent on temperature. That's why they have not given the type of organ pipe. You can take any one of the organ pipe, closed organ pipe or open organ pipe. Answer would be same. Frequency is only dependent on the temperature in this case, root of temperature in this question. Okay, so for that you have to convert the temperature into Kelvin first. You have to convert the temperature into Kelvin first. So temperature is given as in the first case, frequency is F1. F1 is given 400 hertz. And temperature is given as 27 degrees Celsius. So 27 plus 273, that is 300 Kelvin. And you have to calculate the F2. You have to calculate the F2. And T2 is given, that is 90 degrees Celsius. So 90 plus 270, 3. That would be 363 Kelvin. Okay, take the ratio F1 by F2. That ratio would be, since frequency is directly proportional to root of temperature, so ratio would be root of T1 upon root of T2. Now put the values and find the F2. Okay, now you can find everything is clear. Any doubt in any step in any concept you can ask here. Any doubt in any step in any concept you can ask. Okay. So which option is correct? C. Okay. Let's see. So C option is correct. Very good. Okay. So this equation gamma RT upon M root. How this equation has arrived from here? V. I have explained it. Okay. From here you can calculate the fundamental frequencies. And fundamental frequency for the first case is given 400 hertz, and you have to calculate the fundamental frequency, that means resonance frequency at the same mode, and which mode is there? Fundamental mode, and that would be equal to 440 hertz after calculation part is yours. Okay, so let's move to next question. So the fundamental frequency in an open organ pipe is equal to the third harmonic of the closed organ pipe. If the length of the closed organ pipe is 20 centimeter, then the length of the open organ pipe. Now this question you can do. Okay, I have explained you what is the fundamental frequency in the open organ pipe. That fundamental frequency in open organ pipe is V by 2L or L naught, length in the case of open organ pipe. And that fundamental frequency is equal to third harmonic in the closed organ pipe. Third harmonic in closed organ pipe. So I should write it 3C. In closed organ pipe, third harmonic. That is 3V by 2LC. They both are equal. And length of closed organ pipe is given 20 centimeter. So from here, you can calculate the length of the open organ pipe. Can you calculate? Calculate and tell me what is the correct answer. Okay, option A. Other people, everyone is getting A option or any other option? Only 3 to 4 people are replying, and there are 16 people in the meeting. 1/4 of the people are replying. And what are other 3/4 of people doing? Okay, option A. So let's see. So A option 13.2 centimeter is the correct option. Okay. So for closed organ pipe, what is the third harmonic? That is 3V by 4L. And for open organ pipe, what is the fundamental frequency? That is V by 2L. And you have to calculate the length of the open organ pipe. That length will be approximately equal to 13.2 centimeter. You can calculate by this. Okay, so shall we move to the next question? So a tuning fork is used to produce resonance in a glass tube. The length of the air column in this tube can be adjusted by a variable piston at room temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. Two successive resonances are produced at 20 centimeter and 73 centimeter of the column length. If the frequency of the tuning fork is 320 Hz, then the velocity of sound in air at 27 degrees Celsius is. So what they are saying, so a tuning fork is there that is used to produce a resonance in the glass tube. So one glass tube is there. Okay. So glass tube is there, and the length of the air column in this tube can be adjusted by a variable piston. So there is a variable piston here. So length of this air column above that piston can be adjusted with the help of the piston. So this length of from the top of the glass tube to the piston, that can be adjusted with the help of piston. Okay, so that piston is assumed as the closed end. That piston is assumed as the closed end of this organ pipe. So that means that is closed organ pipe. Okay, and length can be adjusted. So at room temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, two successive resonances are produced. Two successive resonances are produced means, so for closed organ pipe, first resonance is produced, that is fundamental frequency. When first resonance is produced, when there is fundamental frequencies. Okay, so for fundamental frequency, what is the length? That means, suppose this is the case. So we have adjusted the length of this piston, length of this organ pipe or glass tube. So first resonance, that means fundamental frequencies like this. So I apologize for my drawing. So that pen is not working. So that is the fundamental frequency. Okay, and the second, the third harmonic, the third harmonic is like this. This is the third harmonic. This is the first harmonic. So first harmonic, this is the third harmonic. So they are saying at room temperature of 27 degree, two successive resonances are produced at 20 centimeter and 73 centimeter. Suppose that is produced at 20 centimeter. The second one is produced at the second one is produced at which column length? 73 centimeter column. Okay. So what is this distance then? This distance. This distance would be 73 minus 20, that is 53. That is 20 centimeter for that. Above one is 20 centimeter. That is 53 centimeter. Clear? So that means, so what amount of wavelength is there? This is half of the wavelength. This is 1/4 of the wavelength. This is half plus 1/4. That means 3/4 of the wavelength. 3 lambda by 4. This complete is 3 lambda by 4. And this is lambda by 4. That means this is lambda by 2. Okay, so the subtraction of these two lengths, 73 minus 20, that remaining is 53. That means that 53 centimeters corresponds to lambda by 2. That 53 centimeter corresponds to lambda by 2. From here you can calculate the lambda. Lambda is 106 centimeter. Okay, and you can calculate the velocity of the sound in air at 27 degrees Celsius. So how can you calculate the velocity of sound? Now you have closed organ pipe and the fundamental frequency, formula for fundamental frequency. Okay, that is V by 4L. So resonance is happening. Resonance is happening at 20 centimeter and 73 centimeter. So two successive resonances are happening at this, and fundamental frequency is 320 hertz. And you can calculate the velocity of sound from there, or you can use this formula. So you can use this formula, but you are not given the fundamental frequency, so you can use the another formula, that is V is equal to nu lambda. So you know the lambda, you know the frequency, so you can calculate the velocity of sound at 27 degrees Celsius from there. Can you calculate? Any doubt in this question you can ask. Any doubt in this question you can ask, or tell me the correct option. Okay, how we find this is closed organ pipe? So like I've explained, this is a glass tube and the other end is a variable piston. So by the help of this variable piston, we can change the length. So that variable piston is acting as a boundary. Like we have discussed that we have dipped the glass tube in the water. So the surface of water in the glass tube is acting as a boundary of that tube. So this is open tube from both ends. But on the other end, there is piston here. There is piston. So this piston, one end is open, other end is piston. So this piston is acting as a boundary in the case of this glass tube. So it is behaving as a closed organ pipe. Clear? That's why it is acting as closed organ pipe. This piston is acting as boundary from one end. So one end is closed. Okay, B option. So let's see the correct option. So B is the correct option. Okay, so we have taken the change in length. So change in length is 73 minus 20. That is 53. And that 53 centimeter corresponds to how much of wavelength? Half of the wavelength. That is lambda by 2. From there, we can calculate the lambda. Okay, so from here, we can calculate the lambda. And lambda is given in centimeters. And velocity frequency is given in hertz. You have to calculate the velocity in meter per second. So you have to convert the lambda into meters also by multiplying 10 to the power minus 2. Then you can calculate the velocity of sound from this formula. V is equal to n lambda or nu. You can use any notation for the frequency. In some books there is f for frequency, in some books there is nu, and in this question they have used n. Okay, that velocity of sound will came out to be 339 meter per second. Clear? Okay, one question I will give you and you have to solve for homework. This is homework. So the two nearest harmonics of a tube closed at one end and open at other end is 220 Hz and 260 Hz. What is the fundamental frequency of the system? So nearest harmonics of tube closed at one end and open at and other end are 220 Hz and 260 Hz. So you have to find the fundamental frequency of the system. So which organ pipe is there? Which organ pipe is there? Open or closed? Closed organ pipe. So in closed organ pipe, two nearest harmonics, any nearest harmonics. So which harmonics are present in the case of closed organ pipe? First third, fifth, seventh, ninth, 11th, and so on. Odd harmonics. So any two successive, any two nearest harmonics, okay, any two nearest harmonics are given, and frequencies for that nearest harmonics are 220 hertz and 260 hertz. So we have to calculate the fundamental frequency. Okay, so you have to calculate now what is the difference in the frequency of the nearest harmonics. Suppose first harmonic is V by 4L, third harmonic is 3V by 4L, other is 5V by 4L, other is 7V by 4L. So what is the difference in any two nearest harmonics? Any two nearest. You can take any one two, these two or these two or these two. So that difference is 2V by 4L. That is V by 2L. That difference. Difference in the frequency of any two nearest harmonic is this. Okay, and frequencies are given. Frequencies 220 and 260. So what is the difference? 40 hertz. So that difference in any two harmonics is given as V by 2L is given as 40 hertz. You have to calculate the fundamental frequency of the system. Fundamental frequency is V by 4L. V by 2L you know, V by 4L you have to calculate. This is homework. Okay, I have solved it already. Okay, so this is all about today's lecture for the PYQ of chapter waves. I hope you enjoyed the session. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
division produce haploid spermatids. Spermatids produce spermatozoa through mitosis. Spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. So you have to choose the correct answer from the above. Okay, someone is thinking. Badri is thinking it's option B. Option B. Okay. Option B is correct. Okay, what is option B? Primary spermatocytes divide mitotically to produce secondary spermatocytes, and spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. Okay, let's see the answer. So option B, everyone is telling that it's option B. Okay. Before seeing the answer, someone just explain me what is a spermatid and what is a spermatozoa. What is the difference between the spermatid and spermatozoa? Can you explain anyone what is spermatid and what is spermatozoa? What is spermatid and what is spermatozoa? Spermatozoa is sperm. Okay, then what is spermatid? What is a spermatid? Some difference is there, right? For a spermatozoa and for a spermatid. What is a spermatid and what is a spermatozoa? Spermatid or immature non-motile. Okay, very good. Whereas spermatozoa is motile and mature. Very good section. So spermatids are immature cells. So they are the early cells, right? They are haploid cells which are produced during meiosis. And the spermatids undergo a process. What is that called? The spermatids undergo a phase, or it undergoes a maturation process. After that, it gets transformed into a spermatozoa. So what is that very good. So it is known as spermiogenesis. Okay, very good. So you know what is the difference between spermatid and spermatozoa, right? Okay. Spermiogenesis. That process is called spermiogenesis. Now let's see the answer for this question. So your answer is option B. So answer is correct. So option B, primary spermatocytes divide mitotically to produce secondary spermatocytes, and spermatids transform into spermatozoa by spermiogenesis. Very good. Let's see the next question. Okay, now it's a match the following. So list 1, it is embryonic development at various months of pregnancy. Okay, list 1, it is the fetus movement starts and hair appears on the head. The fetus develops limbs and digits. The fetus develops external genital organs. The fetus body is covered with fine hair. Eyelids separate and eyelashes are formed. So you have to match with the weeks of pregnancy. Okay, Saksham is telling it's option B. Okay. Question number 2. Come on fast. Waiting for your answers. Okay, option B again. Let's see. Come on fast, fast. Option B is correct. Okay, only four. Four of you have answered. What about others? What about others? Why others are not answering? Okay. So everyone is behind option B. Okay, option B it is fetus movement starts and hair appears on the head. In which week? It is on 20 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, then the fetus develops limbs and digits. It is 8 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, fetus develops external genital organs. 12 weeks of pregnancy. Fetus is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, and eyelashes are formed. It is 24 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, let's see the answer. Okay, option B is the correct answer. So, what will happen during the first month? Usually 1 to 4 weeks. What will happen during this first 4 weeks? First month. So, first 4 weeks, heart will be formed, right? Heart will be formed and it will start beating. Then 5 to 8 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks, 5 to 8 weeks, limbs, okay, limbs and digits will be formed. Okay, so after 24 weeks, what will happen? After 24 weeks means the last month of your pregnancy, like if it is some ninth month of pregnancy, like 37 to 40 weeks, what will happen during that time? I'm asking about the last month, ninth month, 37 to 40 weeks. Ah, so the fetus will be like, it will be fully developed and it will be ready for the delivery. So that will happen during the ninth month, during 37 to 40 weeks. Okay, so clear? Let's see the next question. Arrange the following cell layers, structures around the female gamete from outer to inner side. You have to arrange the layers from outer to inner side. Zona pellucida, perivitelline space, corona radiata, plasma membrane of the ovum. So what is the correct option here? You have to arrange the layer from outside to inside. Outside to inside. So who has given answer? Option D. Okay, Saksham, Sangavi, Sasi. Okay, option D. Okay, come on, fast, fast. Okay, Deepika, it's D. So what are all the layers? Option D is correct. Okay. So what is the outermost layer? What is the outermost layer? What is the outermost layer? Zona pellucida. What is the outermost layer? What is the outermost layer? Outermost layer is corona radiata, right? So corona radiata is the outermost layer. That is the outermost layer. It is not zona pellucida. Followed by corona radiata, you can see. Followed by corona radiata. Which layer you can see? Zona pellucida. Next to zona pellucida, it is. Next to zona pellucida, it is. Other two layers. Vitelline membrane. Is that correct? Okay, perivitelline space will be there. Then vitelline membrane will be there. Perivitelline space and then vitelline membrane will be there. Okay, let's see the answer now. So what answers you have given? Option D. Some have given option D and one option B is also there. So what is the correct answer? Option. So corona radiata, zona pellucida, then perivitelline space, and then comes the plasma membrane of the ovum. So this is the plasma membrane is the innermost layer. So this is the correct answer. Okay. So corona radiata is the outermost layer. That layer will be confusing question. Why it is confusing? See, arrange the following cell layers around the female gamete from outer to inner side. From outer side to inner side. So, which is the outermost layer? The outermost layer is corona radiata. Then followed by zona pellucida. Then comes the perivitelline space. Then the vitelline membrane. That is your plasma membrane of the ovum. That's all. So from outer to inner, you have to arrange. So the answer is option C, corona radiata, zona pellucida, perivitelline space, then plasma membrane of the ovum. Okay. Okay, next question. Find the correct statement. So you have to find the correct statement from the below. In human pregnancy, the major organ systems are formed at the end of 12 weeks. In human pregnancy, the major organ systems are formed at the end of 8 weeks. In human pregnancy, heart is formed after 1 month of gestation. Then limbs and digits develop by the end of second month. Appearance of hair is usually observed in the 5th month. Okay. What is the answer? So you have to select the correct statement. Just now we discussed. So you can answer easily. So what are the correct statements given here? What is your answer? Option B. What is option B here? Human pregnancy, the major organ systems formed at the end of 12 weeks. Okay. Then human pregnancy, heart is formed after 1 month of gestation. Okay. Then D and E. In human pregnancy, limbs and digits develop by the end of second month. In human pregnancy, appearance of hair is usually observed in 5th month. Okay. Let's see the answer now. So the answer is option B. See, remember once again, during your first month means 1 to 4 weeks, your heart will be formed and it will start beating. Okay. So in second month, 5 to 8 weeks, what will happen? Limbs and digits will develop. So in third month means 9 to 12 weeks, all the major organ systems will be fully developed and your external genitalia, external genital organs also will be visible. And in your fourth month means 13 to 16 weeks, there will be a rapid growth and you can see the bones. Like if you do a ultrasound, then you can see the bones distinctively. Then in the fifth month means 17 to 20 weeks. So mother can feel the movement of the baby, right? So you can see growth of hair during this 17 to 20 weeks in the fifth month. Then in sixth month, 21 to 24 weeks, the body will be fully covered with fine hairs and eyelashes will form and eyelids also will get separated. So remember month also, remember weeks also. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay, easy question only. You have to match the list 1 with 2. Head, middle piece, acrosome, tail. It's a structure of the sperm, right? And listed 2, it is enzymes, sperm motility, energy, genetic material. So you have to match list 1 with 2. Okay, option C. Saksham has already given the answer. So you have to match. What is the purpose of having a head? What is the use of middle piece, acrosome, tail? What is acrosome, pa? What is this acrosome? What do you mean by acrosome? What is the acrosome? Acrosome is enzyme. No. What is acrosome? What is acrosome? I'm asking what is acrosome? Where you can see this acrosome? Acrosome releases enzyme. That is fine. What is acrosome? I'm asking. So Saksham has given some answer. A structure covering head. Okay. So you can see a small cap-like structure. You can see a small cap-like structure that covers the head of the sperm. So that is acrosome. Okay, good. Cap-like structure. So acrosome is a cap-like structure. You know the structure of sperm, right? One head will be there, then middle piece, then tail will be there. So inside the head, you can see a cap-like structure called acrosome. Okay. So let's see the answer now. What answer you have given? Option C. Okay, let's see the answer. Okay, option C is the correct answer. So what is the role of head? So head contains the nucleus which holds the genetic material. So middle piece, it contains mitochondria. So it provides energy for the sperm to move. Then acrosome, it is a cap-like structure which you can see in the head of the sperm, and acrosome contains enzymes. Then the tail portion helps in the motility of the sperm. Okay, good. Very good. Next question. Consider the following. The reductive division for the human female gametogenesis starts earlier than that of male gametogenesis. The gap between the first meiotic division and the second meiotic division is much shorter for males compared to females. The first polar body is associated with the formation of primary oocyte. Next option, luteinizing hormone surge leads to disintegration of the endometrium and onset of menstrual bleeding. So you have to choose the correct answer from the options given below. Options given above. Okay, so correct. Select the correct answer. Already Saksham has given the answer, option C. Okay, very good, Saksham. Let's see. Let's wait for others to answer. Okay, again option C. Okay. See, understand the question, read the question twice, and then answer. Option A. Why Sasi option A? So you have to choose the correct answer. Okay. Option C. Can anyone give reason why you are citing option C? Reason behind the answer. Why it is option C or why it is option A? What is the reason? Option C, it is reduction division of the human female gametogenesis starts earlier than that of the male. Okay. And B, gap between the first meiotic division, second meiotic division is much shorter for males compared to females. Okay. Option A, it is B and D. Gap between, okay. D, it is luteinizing hormone surge leads to disintegration. Okay. Can anyone explain why it is option C or why it is option A? See, some reason should be there behind your answers, right? Why you have selected these options. You should know the reason behind your answer. Why it is option C? Sasi, why it is option A? Come on, if it is wrong, fine, no issues. But you know the reason behind your answers. Okay, in human, female oogenesis begins during embryonic development, whereas males after puberty. Okay. So that's why you have selected option B. And what about C? Okay, it is about first polar body associated with the formation of primary oocyte. Okay. Saksham has given reason for his answers. Very good. Sasi, now you have to explain. You have given option A. Can you explain why you have selected option A? If it is wrong, fine, no issues. But let us know the reason behind your answers. Okay, you think it is option A. Okay, let's see the answer now. So it is option C. So whatever the explanation given by Saksham is good. That is correct. So option C, it is statement A and B. So first polar body, it is associated with the formation of the secondary oocyte, and LH surge leads to ovulation. Okay, it leads to ovulation. What they have given here? They have given that it leads to menstrual bleeding. Okay, but it leads to ovulation. So option C and D are false, and option A and B are the correct answers. Very good, Saksham. Next question. The first menstruation is called. What is the first menstruation called? Very good. Saksham is too fast today. Diapause, ovulation, menopause, menarche. What is the first menstruation called? Very good, very good. Come on, fast. Option D. Okay, option D. Okay, before seeing the answer, what is menopause? What is menopause? What is menopause? What is menopause, pa? Menopause is the period when female stops experiencing periods after. Okay, okay, very good. Okay. What is ovulation? What is ovulation? Maybe you can get some question related to these definitions somewhere else. So let us see. What is ovulation? Stop at the age after 50. Okay, good. What is ovulation? What is ovulation, pa? What is ovulation? What is ovulation? Define ovulation. Ovulation is a period when mature eggs are produced. Okay, good. So you know the definitions of other options, right? Okay, what is this diapause? What is this diapause? What is this diapause? Diapause. Any guess? What can be this diapause? Okay, no idea. Okay, good. No. Okay, ovulation is ovary. Ovary released from ovary. Okay, this diapause means diapause is a process where animal pauses its embryonic development. Okay, a pause in the embryonic development, that is called as the diapause. This is again a biological phenomena where an animal pauses its embryonic development. See, if you don't have idea about this diapause, note it down. It is a biological phenomena where an organism passes its embryonic development. Mostly animals will pass their embryonic development. That is called as a diapause. Okay, clear now? Let's see the answer. So the answer is menarche. So the answer is menarche. Next question. Twins are born to a family that lives next door to you. The twins are a boy and a girl. Which of the following must be true? So you have to select the correct option. They were conceived through in vitro fertilization. They have 75% identical genetic content. They are monozygotic twins. They are fraternal twins. What should be the answer? What is the correct option here? Okay. Option D. Okay. Let's see the answer. Option D. Okay. Okay. Fast, fast. Give your answers fast. Okay. Before discussing the answer, explain me what is a monozygotic twin and what is a dizygotic twin. What is monozygotic and what is dizygotic? Monozygotic, dizygotic. Twins separated from single zygote. What is that? Monozygotic or dizygotic? Okay, twins separated from single zygote, that is monozygotic. Okay, what about dizygotic? Okay, monozygotic means when a single fertilized egg splits into two separate embryos and okay, there will be more of the same sex. Okay. Okay, monozygotic means one fertilized egg that split into two. Okay. What about dizygotic? Okay, so generally monozygotic means one egg will be fertilized by one sperm. It will form a zygote. That zygote will divide into two embryos. So you are correct about the monozygotic. What about dizygotic? Dizygotic, two different sex. Okay, fine. What about the egg, sperm? Okay, so in dizygotic, two eggs will be fertilized by two different sperms. Okay, in dizygotic, two eggs will be fertilized by two different sperms. Got it? Two eggs will be fertilized by two different sperms. A very big explanation has been given. Okay, very good. So this monozygotic twins will be mostly identical and this zygotic twins, they won't be mostly identical. Got it? Any confusion in this? Two different sperms fertilize two different egg. Then they form a two different embryo. Any doubt in this? So let's see the answer for this. Okay. So they are fraternal twins. So they are dizygotic twins. Fraternal or dizygotic. Next question. Given below are two statements. So statement based question. The presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity. Statement 2. The hymen is torn during the first coitus only. In the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So what is the answer? Both statements are true, both are false. Statement 1 is true, 2 is false, 1 is false and 2 is true. Option C. 1 is true but 2 is false. Okay, let's see. Option C. Okay, let's see the answer. So statement 1 is true, but 2 is false. So it is not the indicator of virginity. So it can rupture during any hard physical activities also. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is not a component of fallopian tube? Not a component of fallopian tube. Read the question twice. Not a component of fallopian tube. Uterine fundus, isthmus, infundibulum, ampulla, which is not a component of fallopian tube. Not a component of fallopian tube. Okay, everyone is giving option A. Okay. Okay. Let us discuss about the components of fallopian tube. What are all the components of fallopian tube? What are all the components of fallopian tube? What are the components of fallopian tube? Come on, guys, answer. What are all the components of fallopian tube? Any answer? Okay, isthmus, ampulla, infundibulum, fimbriae. Okay, so fimbriae will be there, then infundibulum, ampulla, then isthmus will be there. Okay, very good. So now you will be knowing the answer, which is not the component of a fallopian tube. So A is the correct answer. Uterine fundus is not a part of fallopian tube. So it is part of uterus, right? So it is not a part of fallopian tube. Okay, coming to next question. Identify the correct option respect to spermatogenesis. You have to identify the correct option respect to spermatogenesis. FSH, Leydig cells, Sertoli cells, spermiogenesis. ICSH, interstitial cells, Leydig cells, spermiogenesis. Some diagram is missing actually. FSH, Sertoli cells, Leydig cells, spermatogenesis. ICSH, Leydig cells, Sertoli cells, spermatogenesis. You just give a try what it can be. What it can be. Just give a try. What is FSH? What is FSH? What is FSH? Let's discuss all these things. What is FSH? Follicle stimulating hormone. Okay. What are these Leydig cells? Where you can see these Leydig cells? What is the role of Leydig cells? Leydig cells. Where you can see these Leydig cells? Or what is the role of these Leydig cells? Leydig. Okay. What about Sertoli cells? What about Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells. Functions of Sertoli cells. Okay, Sertoli cell supports spermatogenesis. Where you can see the Sertoli cells? Where you can see Sertoli cells? So you can see Sertoli cells in seminiferous tubules, right? You can see Sertoli cells in the seminiferous tubules of the testis. Okay, let's see the answer now. So it is option A. So diagram is missing here. So FSH, Leydig cells, Sertoli cells and spermiogenesis. What is spermiogenesis, Pa? What is spermiogenesis? Spermiogenesis, spermatogenesis. What is spermiogenesis? What is spermatogenesis? Spermiogenesis and spermatogenesis. What is spermiogenesis? What is spermatogenesis? Spermatid to spermatozoa. It is spermiogenesis. Very good. Next, spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. So it is the entire process of producing sperm cells. Okay, so that is the difference between spermiogenesis and spermatogenesis. Good. Next question. So match the list 1 with 2. It is about human female external genitalia. Mons pubis, clitoris, hymen, labina majora. The other side it is fleshy fold of tissue surrounding the vaginal opening, fatty cushion of cells covered by skin and hair, tiny finger-like structure above labia minora, a thin membrane-like structure covering vaginal opening. Okay, already you have started answering. Very good. Some has answered option A. Okay, let's see. Others, what about others? Only 4 they have answered. What about others? Come on fast. Okay, option A. Option A. Okay. Okay, this female external genitalia is collectively known as, what is the name for that? Female external genitalia is collectively known as, together with all these parts, it is known as, very good, Alvar. So it is vulva. So what are all the different components of vulva? What are all the different components of vulva? You can see mons pubis, then labia majora, labia minora, then clitoris, vestibule, yes, urinary meatus, hymen you can see, then vaginal opening. So these are the different components of vulva. Okay, let's see the answer now. So the answer is option A. Very good to all who have answered option A. Good. So mons pubis, it is fatty cushion of cells covered by skin and layer. Clitoris, it is tiny finger-like structure above the labia minora. Hymen, it is a thin membrane-like structure covering vaginal opening. Labia majora, a fleshy fold of tissue surrounding the vaginal opening. Okay, let's see the next question. Arrange the following parts in human mammary gland, traversing the route of milk ejection. Mammary duct, lactiferous duct, mammary alveolus, ampulla, then mammary tubule. So choose the correct answer. You have to answer the route of milk ejection. Route of milk ejection. Route of milk ejection. Route of milk ejection. Okay, Saksham has told option C. Okay, let's see. Route of milk ejection. Okay, what is the hormone responsible for this milk ejection? Before answering this question, just let me know what is the hormone responsible for. Hormone responsible for milk ejection. Very good. It is oxytocin. Very good. Very good, Saksham. It is oxytocin. That is the hormone responsible for milk ejection. What is the hormone responsible for milk production? Very good. Prolactin. Very good. Superb, guys. Very good. So, milk ejection, it is oxytocin. Milk production, it is prolactin. Very good. Okay. So, you have given option C. Okay. Let's see the answer now. So, the answer is option C. So, the route of milk ejection. So, it is generally alveoli, then mammary tubules, then mammary ducts, mammary ampulla, lactiferous duct, and then it will come out through the nipple. So that is the answer. Let's see the next question. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R. Okay. Assertion: during menstrual cycle, the ovulation takes approximately on 14th day. Ovulation takes approximately on 14th day. Reason: rapid secretion of LH in the middle of menstrual cycle induces rupture of Graafian follicle and thereby the release of ovum. In the light of the above statements, choose the most appropriate answer from the given options below. A is correct, or is not correct. A is not correct, R is correct. Both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So, what is the answer? Option C. Okay. Both A and R are correct, but R is okay, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, let's see. Come on, what about others? Give an answer for this question. Come on, fast. Okay, option C. So everyone is telling that it is option C. So option C. Okay. Assertion they have given, right? During menstrual cycle, the ovulation takes place approximately on 14th day. How you will calculate the ovulation? How you will calculate the ovulation? Any formula or anything there for calculating ovulation? Any formula or anything there for calculating ovulation? How you will calculate your ovulation? Any idea how you will calculate the ovulation? Any formula given in your book, in your text? Okay, 14 is subtracted, but from what you forgot? Okay, I'll tell you what is that. Okay. Any other guys? Any other one? Do you have any idea about how you will calculate your ovulation day? So generally, ovulation day is equal to length of the cycle. So average length of the cycle minus 14. As Saksham told, you have to subtract 14 from average cycle length. If you don't know, just note it down. Ovulation day is equal to average cycle length minus 14. So average cycle length means some people used to have 28-day cycle. Some will have 30-day cycle. Some will have 26 days. So depending on the number of days. So your average cycle length minus 14. That will give your ovulation day. Clear? Any doubts in that? So the formula is average cycle length minus 14. Clear? Any doubt? Okay, clear. So now you got the answer from where you can subtract the 14. Okay, the answer for 14th question, it is C. So most of you have given the correct answer. Very good. Let's see the next question. Again, match the following. List 1 and 2. List 1, it is parturition, placenta, colostrum, fimbriae. List 2, it is several antibodies for newborn babies, collection of ovum after ovulation, fetal ejection reflex, secretion of the hormone HCG. Okay, Saksham has given answer option A. Okay. What about others? Fast. Sasi A. Okay. Others? Come on, fast, guys. Okay, Sangavi A. Okay, let's see the A option. Parturition, it is fetal ejection reflex. Okay. Placenta, it is secretion of hormone HCG. Okay. Colostrum, it is several antibodies for newborn babies. Okay. Fimbriae, it is collection of ovum after ovulation. Okay, let's see the answer. Shall we see the answer? Let's see the answer now. Okay, it is option A. Very good. Okay, next question. Which of the following statements are correct regarding female reproductive cycle? In non-primate mammals, cyclical changes during reproduction are called estrous cycle. First menstrual cycle begins at puberty and it is called menopause. Lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. Cyclic menstruation extends between menarche and menopause. So you have to select the correct option regarding the statements. Come on, fast, fast. Answer for question number 16. Which of the following statements are correct? Option C. Why question mark? Option C, it is A, C and D only. Non-primate mammal cyclical changes during reproduction are called estrous cycle. Okay. Lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. Okay. Option D, cyclic menstruation extends between menarche and menopause. Okay, let's see. Everyone is now behind option C. Okay. Option B, like first menstrual cycle begins at puberty and it is called menopause. That is wrong. Everyone knows that. So you are confused between A, C and D. Okay, let's check. Let's check the answer. So it is option C only. Very good. So it is option C. Okay, one more question we'll see. Give below are two statements. One is, okay, assertion and reason. Endometrium is necessary for implantation of blastocyst. That is assertion. The reason behind is, in the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates that causes disintegration of endometrium. So you have to choose the correct answer. Option D. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay. Option D. Okay. What about others? Option A. Both R, A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Okay. Option A and D. Confusion between option A and D. What about others? Come on, fast give answers. What is this endometrium, pa? What is this endometrium? What is endometrium? Where you can see endometrium? Why no answers? What is endometrium? Inner membrane of uterus. Okay, good. So what they have given here, endometrium is necessary for implantation of blastocyst. Yes, endometrium is necessary for implantation of the blastocyst. Okay. What is the reason here? Absence of fertilization, corpus luteum degenerates, that causes disintegration of endometrium. So reason is also correct, right? It explains about the menstrual cycle. If fertilization does not happen, then menstrual cycle will start. But what is here? This reason is nowhere explaining about implantation or endometrium or blastocyst. Correct? So A is also correct, R is also correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So that is the correct answer. So option A is the correct answer. Assertion is also correct and reason is also correct, but reason is not the proper explanation given for the assertion. So option A is the correct answer. Okay, answer this question fast. We'll finish with this question. Given below are two statements. Vas deferens receives a duct from seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as the ejaculatory duct. Statement 2, the cavity of the cervix is called cervical canal, which along with vagina forms birth canal. So you have to choose the correct answer. Whether statement 1 and 2 both are false, both are true, one is incorrect, but 2 is true. Option D. Okay. Come on, guys, fast. Answer this question. Option D. Okay. I've got only two answers. Option D. Okay, Alvar. Okay, let's see the answer first. So the answer is option D. Both 1 and 2 are true. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts in the questions? Whatever we have discussed so far? Everything is clear? Okay. Thank you for your time. Go and revise the chapter again. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.